Right now, joining us is the special guest that we promoted, and he will be joining us in just 15 seconds time. Our producer has him on the line. It's someone that you're going to want to enjoy listening to, and it's a gentleman that a lot of people are going to have their eyes on in MLS in his first season. And joining us right now from the Philadelphia Union, Toronto-born Steven Vitoria. Steven, welcome to Red Card, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate having you on. And once to see you in North America and signing with the Philadelphia Union. Let's talk about that first and foremost. How did that all come about, coming back here to North America and signing with the Philadelphia Union?
No, it was, I'm very happy and excited about it. It was close to happening, there's some talks last summer, but we were only able to work things out on this break now, and, I'm very, like I said, very excited about it. I was happy in Europe, but now I'm more than happy to be back in North America and to be a part of this amazing league.
Steven, you had a preseason game against the Costa Rican under-23s. You guys ended up winning that 3-0. Some strong performances by Ray Gaddis and CJ Sapong, two guys that have been on my show, two guys that are really hungry to get Philadelphia into the playoffs like yourself. Do you feel, Steven, CJ, Ray, your whole team, the enormous responsibility in trying to get this team into the playoffs with the great fans you have in Philadelphia?
No, for sure. One thing I've noticed in these couple of weeks that I've been here is a great winning attitude and mentality, and it's starting to show up, and it's been part of our day-to-day here at Preseason, and every one of the boys has that in the back of their minds. We're gonna just try to be strong week in and week out to get as many wins as we can and start the season off on the right foot.
Steven, let's go way back when you were a youngster. You're still very young, but let's go way back. Born in Toronto, Canada, my home city, and a city that has so much local youth soccer. You played with Woodbridge. I'm sure, Steven, there's lots of players that you have played with that you're still in contact with in your youth days, and some coaches that were important to you. Talk about growing up in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and some of the important coaches that helped get to where you're at today.
No, for sure. I left Canada. I was born and raised until I was 18, which was late. I did all my youth academy in the Toronto area, and then being overseas in 10 years, it's just something that I noticed is that the same way that I made it, so many other kids, could have made it back then and now as well. The quality is not so much different. No, I'm still in touch with a lot of my buddies, and they're already all talking about the day we come to Toronto and having fun with it. But the quality, the quality in players, it's not so much as a difference as everybody thinks in Europe. And if I made it throughout all these years, if I did, everyone can, right?
Steven, let's talk about that. I'm a parent of two boys, two sons myself. They're playing in Ontario still. And I look at a lot of youngsters that have great quality in our province. When you look back, Steven, what do you wish you would have learned or developed better in yourself as a player that you learned in Portugal, in Europe, that you would have been able to learn here in Canada?
No, to be honest, I've learned a lot when I played in Canada, and I felt I was prepared when I made the move overseas. It just all comes down to your professionalism. If you really want something, not just in soccer, but as in life, if you really want something, there's a lot of sacrifices that comes with, and you just have to be prepared to do them day in and day out. And if there's a will, there's always a way. And that's something that a little while ago you're talking about coaches. We learn a little bit with every coach. We try to grab as many positives as we can and just grow with it, and that's how it's been since I started, and that's how it's going to be until it finishes.
Steven, I don't think people understand Canada and Ontario specifically and Toronto in regards to how crazy the soccer fans are here. Portuguese, Italian, Spanish, German, South American, World Cup time, Euro time. It is absolutely crazy here. You know that. I don't think people give enough respect to this province and country in regards to the knowledge and the passion that a lot of families have with their youngsters here. They think that we are just a hockey nation. When you went to Portugal, was it hard for you to make them realize, hey, I might be coming from Canada, but I'm here to play and I'm here to compete just like you guys are?
As Canada, as such a big country, and the States as well, but as Canada, we grow up, learning more about hockey, and then Canada has that, that fame, unfortunately, for soccer. It's not one of the strongest sports in the nation, but that's been changing, and now with the MLS and with the 3 Canadian clubs, and, hopefully there'll be more in the future just to give more opportunity to all the kids. Like I said, it's not so much difference in quality, because that, I can speak from my experience of the players I've seen in Europe and the ones that I've played with, as you mentioned, in Woodbridge and the other clubs. I played with amazing players here in Canada that could have, stepped in the same steps that I've done over in Europe. So it's not so much that's the difference. It's maybe just opportunity that back then, 10 years, maybe that I didn't have to continue, my career in Canada. But now things are changing, and hopefully they'll continue changing for the better of the nation, and especially the kids growing up in the systems today.
Steven, let me ask you, what an amazing feeling it must have been when you signed for Benfica, a world-known club, a club that has had so much success in developing players and winning domestic championships. Tell us how that must have felt going back to that momentous day in your life.
No, for sure. It was something very special I had in my life. I said when I signed it, back then it was a happy day in my life. It's a very big club, it's Benfica was a great year and a half that I spent there. I was fortunate last year, even though I didn't play as much as I wanted to. I still won all 3 national titles and played with some of the best players in the world. And, from the 10 years that I've been in Portugal, I've started in lower divisions clubs in the 2nd division, and worked my way up to being champion of the 1st. It was a great road. I'm very, very happy about it, and to have all that stuff on my resume. But that's all in the past, and now it's all about Philadelphia Union, and I'm very happy today is the same way I was back then, and excited to get things on the way and to start winning games with Philadelphia.
Let's talk about the Philadelphia Union, Steven. Obviously, it's going to be a massive year for yourself and your teammates trying to get, as we said, the club into the playoffs for the first time. Great fans in Philly, but there's going to be a lot of other teams that are going to be giving you a lot of a run for your money. We see that MLS has grown, Steven. We see Kaká in Orlando, Jovinko here in Toronto, and we think of LA Galaxy with Jorginho. I mean, this has got to be great for a guy like yourself now coming to North America, playing with so many stars from around the world that have decided to come here and play in MLS. Talk about it.
No, for sure. It's not just great for me. It's great for everybody. It's great for the league. Great for the fans. MLS. It's crazy and it's unbelievable the way it's just been blowing up year after year, and it's going to be one of the best leagues in the world. And no, for sure, I'm very happy about it. I'm very happy to be a part of the union, and looking forward to all these games to play against all these great players the same way that they're going to be happy to play against us and the great players that we have as well.
Steven, obviously in Portugal and in Europe, there's hardly any AstroTurf fields. It's mostly, if not 99% grass fields. Here in MLS and in North America, you're going to have a mixture, 50% grass, the other 50% stadiums on artificial turf. Have you prepared for that mentally? Have you prepared for it physically, understanding that this could take a toll on your body, playing the specific position you play?
No, yeah, those are things that we'll learn to cope with them. It's not going to be a problem for me or for everybody because it's the same for all of us, right? But yeah, for sure in Europe it was all grass. But you know, when we play on turf, it's still a soccer game, and things will go well the same way, and we'll have fun with it.
Steven, the travel is going to play a big part as well for you in this first year in North America. You know, you'll be going from Orlando to Vancouver to LA to Montreal. Obviously, in Europe, the travel wasn't like that. This obviously is going to play a part. Have you prepared, knowing that there's going to be long travels as well?
Oh yeah, it's, you know, it's with Benfica, it was, you know, there was a lot of travel as well. So, like I said, that's, you know, I haven't even thought about things like that. Those are the little things that the job comes with, and we can't focus too much on that because, you know, we can't run away from it. So it'll, you know, we'll cross those bridges when they come, but for sure it's not gonna be the problem for me or for anyone that has to deal with it.
Steven, who do you tailor your game after? Who is someone that you watch video day in and day out, whether in Europe or in South America or anywhere in the world, that you are learning from still today? Who is that?
No, just in general, I like, you know, watching a lot of soccer. I don't really specifically follow one player. Obviously, we know who the best center backs are in the world. You know, we talk about Thiago Silva and guys like that. Obviously, every time we have a chance to watch them. Even at Benfica last year, I had maybe it was the double center backs in all of Europe last year, which was Luizon and Garay, and just to be, you know, training with them every day and day in and day out. You just learn, you know, you learn from everyone. You just try to always take the positives from A, B, or C, and then you just try to grow with it as well. The same way that one day, you know, I want people to look up to me and learn the same way.
Steven, just before we let you go, a couple other quick things. We really appreciate your time, but being born and raised in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and yourself a Canadian, myself a Canadian, many people would love to see you one day play for Canada. If Benito Floro were to pick up the phone and talk to you in the next few months, getting ready for Gold Cup, would you answer him with a yes for Canada, a no, or a maybe?
No, my answer is the same as of day one. I want to, you know, make sure I'm clear when I say this. I've never said no to Canada since day one. I've always explained what had happened, and what had happened at that time was that Portugal, when I decided to play with Portugal, U19s and U20s and the Euros and the World Cups and be in the Portuguese pool, it was all because Portugal gave me a chance that Canada never did at that time. But as I said, soccer is based on moments, and as I said, now I'm focused on Philadelphia just to do a good job to help my teammates get a lot of wins. And then we'll see how the future unfolds.
And we'll let you go with this, Steven. And we would like you to give some tips out there to the youngsters here in Canada, in the US of A, all over the world. What are those tips you'd like to give to the young players that are playing your position? A lot of times, you know, here in Canada, that unfortunately a lot of the coaches, Steven, they just want to win the trophy. They want to win the medal. They want to win the game. And there's a lot of kids that lose confidence by not getting those playing minutes. What would you like to say to those kids, and also the kids that want to have a dream like yourself and play in Europe and MLS? What do they need to do?
No, it's like you just mentioned, to dream, right? It's good to dream, and every goal starts with a dream. And you know, and I followed mine. I've you know, since day one, I went through a lot. I've been released. I've been cut. I never give up. You know, it's a tough road, but you know, just as everything in life, not just in soccer. If you really want something, there's no one that can tell you that you can't have it. And you know, it's whether being a center back or a forward, just as an athlete in general, or as I said, any other job. You know, if you really want something, don't let anybody tell you that you can't get it, and then just, you know, put a smile on your face and go to work, and things will happen.
Outstanding. Steven, you've put a lot of smiles on a lot of people's faces here in Ontario, in Toronto. They're getting ready. They're excited to see you play with Philadelphia. I'm sure there'll be a ton of family and friends when you come here to Toronto. Good luck with the Philadelphia Union. God bless, and please do me a favor, say hello to Ray Gaddis for me and CJ Sapong, two outstanding teammates you're going to have Once again, Steven, really appreciate it, and good luck this season in the first one for you in MLS.
Thank you so much, and the appreciation is all mine, and it's a pleasure to be on the show, and take care, and hopefully we'll speak together soon.
Outstanding. God bless.